So to begin with, disappointing to get the Birmingham game called off, of course. Is it in a way a bit of a double-edged sword? I mean, I know you were looking forward to another competition, the FA Cup, get away from the league, but maybe a bonus that you've had a few more days of feet up or at least a bit more rest from match action for the players.
Yeah. To be honest, I don't really feel like we needed a rest. I feel like we needed a game, and so it was a bit disappointing that we didn't play, but when you saw the state of the pitch, it was never going to happen. It was heavy weather that day, so it is what it is. We can't really control the weather, unfortunately. So we had to adapt, and it's given us a bit more time on the training pitch, which is good, certainly given that there's new players arrive through the door. But yeah, I think we'd much rather play the game, and of course some of those players we would have been able to see firsthand in competitive football, which would have been great, but look, it wasn't to be. So it's just to refocus, prepare for the next game, and that one will come in time.
You mentioned new players to the door. I think it's 5 now. Happy with getting business done this early in the window?
Yeah, I think it's important. There's obviously key games coming up, and I think we knew that the squad needed a little bit of freshening up, and we need some new bodies in that can bring new energy and impetus within the group. So that was important for us. So happy to get some over the line earlier.
Ross doing the latest goalkeeper for you. What can you tell us about him?
Yeah, look, certainly Stevie knows it very well from Scotland, and Stevie, when he knew that he was available, was very strong about Ross's potential and where he feels he can reach in terms of his own career, and it seemed to align with the fact that we want to bring in players hungry to develop. And listen, every area within the pitch is up for strengthening. That includes the goalkeeping area, and I think competition is healthy, and I think it's good to bring in players that aspire to develop and improve in the football club.
You talked about develop there. Is he one for the weeks and months to come, or is he somebody who could compete straight away?
Well, no, he'll come in straight away to compete without a doubt. He's had a good season so far at Tranmere, and comes very, very highly thought of within Scottish football. So, like I say, Stevie was really clear that when he heard that Ross was available, that he felt that this was a player that would add a lot of value to us. So I was happy with that.
How tough a market is it in January to look for a striker?
It was tough in the summer, and it's probably tougher now. So it's never easy. I think everybody wants strikers that can score goals, and if you've got them, you don't want to let go of them. So it's not an easy market, the January market. So you have to work very hard, and we have to be quite diligent with what's available.
You feel like you're getting to a point now where things are coming to fruition in so much as you're getting players through the door, you're getting players back fit like Matty Stevens again. It's almost like you're building another squad here.
Yeah, I mean, there's certainly players that really haven't played very many minutes. If you consider Dokes, Matty Stevens, Reece Brown is back on the training pitch now. Some of these guys really haven't played as many minutes as we would have liked them to. So they're also kind of like new signings in a way. The last game that Reece Brown played before he got injured against Peterborough was Bolton, where we won 1-0 at home. So we haven't seen Brownie since then. That seems like a long time ago. So the squad is growing. There's a lot more out there on the training pitch. We went through a really rough period in the middle of the season. The Exeter game at home was probably a low point in terms of player availability and what we were able to do with the squad. So we've grown a little bit from there, but of course, in the meantime, we've lost some games and we find ourselves a little bit short in the league. So we've got a lot of work to do to get this team now knitted together and performing quickly.
You have had a tough time of it in the league of late, albeit the fact, a couple of wins and you're looking in the right direction because it is so congested down there. As a squad, as a manager, how do you want the squad to react? Do you want them to take it upon themselves as a group to have those conversations and address it, or do you like to sort of lead the way here and try and figure it out together?
I think we discuss with the players, we watch back the games and we discuss as a group individually where they're at and what they're feeling during the game. I think you're right. I think the first half against MK Dons were excellent. We probably should be ahead. Burton, we missed a penalty at 1-0. Port Vale were 1-0 up, and I thought we looked in generally good control until the injury that added 15 minutes onto the game. So it's very, very tight margins between picking up some valuable points and not getting them. And when you're down there, sometimes instead of taking a step forward in these moments, you take a step back and you feel vulnerable. So I think it's just about us being more confident, and when we feel a little bit anxious during the game, taking an aggressive step forwards rather than maybe falling backwards, which is, it's like, that's in you sometimes when things are not going well. You want to protect what you've got, but I think we've got to be a little bit more front foot now.
And just finally, Exeter, sort of mid-table, 11th, 12th. What do you make of them?
Yeah, really good season for them. Obviously, coming up, they had initially very good continuity in terms of the squad. I remember talking before to the coaching staff there before they left, and they were happy that there wasn't a big turnover of players, and they got continuity when they came up. Obviously, there's been a shift, and Gary Caldwell's come in, but I think he's done a great job in steadying it already. And yeah, they'll be looking to obviously build on where they're at. So I think they'll be pretty content with where they are at the moment in the season. They've got a lot of good players in there, so tough place to go.